Welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you're new. Building the Physique, episode number 10. So we're getting jacked 10 weeks into the bulk. Actually just entered a holding phase, which I'll touch on a little bit later in the video. But essentially calories brought down to maintenance. We're gonna tidy up the physique a little bit, reset appetite a little bit, and then continue the push probably until 2026, which looking forward to it, getting hench for next year, and then we get the shreds. So about to finish this walk, head to coffee shop, get some client work done, and it is absolutely freezing right now. My hand is actually about to freeze off, so mad one. But luckily the building does have a treadmill, so as soon as things get a little too unbearable, the morning sun's gonna have to switch to the 10,000 lux light, and we're gonna have to hug the treadmill. But until then, I'm gonna enjoy these walks in nature. Quite a great way to start the day. Alright, apparently the cold brew season, I didn't even know that was a thing, is done. So we had to settle for iced Americano, which is far less superior in my opinion. So the holding phase. What is a holding phase? Well, long term gaining phase, but that gaining phase can be broken up into smaller phases like a holding phase or mini cut. So we are entering a holding phase essentially to tidy up the physique a little bit. So we're moving from a surplus down to maintenance. We're going to hold that maintenance for probably around 4 to 5 weeks, tighten up the body comp a little bit, and then back into a surplus. Now the reason why usually in this scenario we do a mini cut, short, again, like just like 4 to 5 week mini cut, but we don't want to really elicit any negative adaptations from being in a deficit, since I am still kind of recovering per se from pushing myself a little bit too hard my last diet. So lesson learned, will not be doing that again. But you live and you learn, right? So this is also why I will never push my clients super hard. I know there's coaches out there who will, let's say a client wants to get shredded, they'll just run them into the ground, stupidly low calories, insane amount of cardio, with no thought of their physiology and how they're going to end up. Like, is it worth the trade-off? Because do you want to look good? Yes, but do you also want to feel good at the same time? Ideally, you look as good as you feel. So being super data driven is important, and honestly treating your body like I mean, you can think of it almost like a business, how you know your click-through rates, and let's say you have a lead funnel, you know your numbers there. Same thing for your physique and your body. You know, you get your blood work done, you see your numbers, you can see your sodium to potassium ratio, should give you a good indication of your adrenal health. I did have some nutrient deficiencies at the back end of the diet, which you can see for example, B vitamins. Your red blood cells give you great insight into your recovery, a simple one, your DHA to cortisol ratio. So that's thrown off. It's a pretty good indicator that your recovery not on point. Same with white blood cells, your immune system. You only adapt to the degree your immune system is healthy, which is something I learned the hard way, like I said, but it's all valuable to learn from, and why I like to be super data driven with things now. I'm working with a coach, obviously, so the coach is gonna help me do that. He's more of a functional health coach as well as a physique coach, so diving into the understanding of blood work, the physiology side of things, GI maps, gut health, which is also something I had to work through in the past, where I did have gut dysbiosis and a parasite, so double whammy, not too hot. But yeah, now the goal is just to be as optimal as possible, and honestly I wouldn't be scared of being optimal. Some people are like optimal as possible, like track your meals, track your steps, track your sleep, your HRV, resting heart rate. And while you can definitely go overboard, there's certain people out there that should not be tracking all that, just because if you're the type of person that really gets hung up on it, not ideal. But at the same time, it kind of gives you freedom. Like, I wouldn't be scared to go all in and be super optimal for a short period of time, depending on your goal. Like, if you're in a 12-week fat loss phase, go all in for that 12 weeks. There's no harm to it, and don't be afraid, because there's only really periods in life that you can do that, and you will have a big ROI in terms of not only confidence, because you build trust through yourself through consistency, but also your body is literally the foundation of everything in life. Your energy, your health, your performance, your mental performance as well. So being super on point, I think, is very valuable, especially if you want to make the most progress possible. So my approach to physique development is obviously making the most progress possible, which is why super data driven. Data guides all decisions, and also trying to look as good as I feel. So this is why working up the calories now, yes, building a good amount of muscle, which I'm excited to reveal. I haven't really done a physique update, but one will be coming soon, probably at the end of this building phase. So then can not only look as good as I feel, but perform optimally, whether that be mental performance, physical performance as well. And honestly, your body is the foundation for everything. Like, you build your body. If you go all in and you optimize, you're going to build consistency. You're going to build trust in yourself through that consistency. You're going to improve your mindset, your energy, your business if you're working on a business. So overall, I think it's super valuable to just lock in for a certain period of time, and then realize that if you extend out your time horizon, you can only be locked in for, let's say, 12-16 weeks, and then you take the foot off the gas for a little bit, enjoy some balance, some moderation. And the other side of moderation is, like, I don't want to be average. I don't want the average person's life. I want to be better than average. So if you want to be better than average, you can't do what the majority of people do. So yes, moderation is key, but I find that's often an excuse, to be fair. People throw around the word moderation, but in my opinion, you can have the best of both worlds, but you treat it like seasons. So season, you're locked in. This is a gain phase season, so having 1-2 off-plan meals a week, maybe drinking here and there 1 to 2 times per month. However, when it comes time to super lock in, let's say when you want to be at the back end of your diet phase where you really want to get peeled, yeah, maybe there's a time there where you need to go all in, really pull away from the extra stuff and just be super locked in. But again, it's to each his own. You just got to understand for your results. I got a client check in with me yesterday who he's like, Coach, I just drank this weekend. I don't know how I'm feeling about this. Progress. Like, all I say to that is you got to be realistic. So I'm going to explain what drinking every weekend will do to your physique and your progress. And if you're cool with that, I'm cool with that. That's like basically all it is at the end of the day. You guys kind of have to understand the trade-offs and then accept the trade-offs, and yeah, make the best progress you can make while enjoying your life at the same time, whatever that means to you. So for me, right now in this period, I really want to be locked in, build my physique, because I know that'll set me up great for the future. But some people may just want to be enjoying every weekend drinking, and you can still build your physique. You just may not progress at as fast as of a rate. So yeah, enough waffle. Gonna enjoy this iced Americano, even though it's hella mid compared to the cold brews. But stop at a grocery store, grab some food for meal one, and then cook up the pre-workout meal. Look at that. Quite nice looking sourdough. Smells amazing too. Got in there right when they opened, 10 a.m., which kind of sucks because usually I like to eat my first meal at about, I wake up like 6. I like to eat my first meal around 9:30, but got to push it back today to get the sourdough. Well worth it though, well worth it. Also stopped off, got the essentials, some fruit, some veg. So meal number one, all cooked up. We got 3 eggs with 3 slices of sourdough and 2 slices of turkey bacon. And I also put some everything bagel spice on the eggs and sourdough. I find it tastes pretty spectacular. So got that. Then we got blackberries, kiwi, a little bit of cinnamon on top. And usually I'll eat this meal about 1.5 hours, sometimes 2 hours before I train. Just depends on how heavy the meal is. Cream of rice digests pretty quickly, so I usually eat that and then go 1.5 hours before I train. But this is a little bit of a heftier meal. I find sourdough digests a little bit slower for me, so I usually go 2 hours. And then in my intra, I got EAAs, so we're stimulating muscle protein synthesis, and I also have 50 grams of carbs in there as well. So we're going to be good throughout the session. No dropping off performance. Glycogen's going to stay topped off. Now, meal one subs. Staples, I think for everybody on this planet, omega-3s, you want 2 to 3 grams of total EPA and DHA. So if you look at the back of your omegas, you're going to see fish oil. You're not looking for 3 grams of fish oil. You're looking for 3 grams of EPA and DHA. So in one soft gel in this, we're getting basically 1,000 of combined EPA and DHA. 710 milligrams EPA, about 300 milligrams of DHA. So about 1,000 EPA and DHA. So all I have to do is take 3 soft gels per day. Now, if you get a shitty fish oil, like one of those shitty ones from like Shoppers or I can't remember the brand, but like they just look super tinny. One, those are probably already rancid because of the form they're in. You want a triglyceride form, so they're gonna do more harm than good. And 2, you're gonna have to probably take like 20 to get to your 3 grams total of EPA and DHA. So get a good one. Then we got multivitamin. I go with Thorne Basic 2 a day. It's cheap. All the vitamins are in their bioavailable form. So methylated versions of each vitamin. So instead of seeing vitamin B, you'll see methylcobalamin, so your body can actually utilize it. Bioavailable, super important. NAC, we got 600 milligrams. I'll take 600 with this meal, 600 with my last meal. Just a precursor to glutathione, our body's most potent antioxidant. D3K2, get your blood work done, see where your D3 is at, or your D. I guess they don't really check D3, but see where your vitamin D levels are at, and then supplement accordingly. Some people need upwards of 10,000 IU to get into the optimal range. I just need 2,000 IU to get into the optimal range. Then, last on the list, quite the cool one, liposmal urolithin A. Now, what this does is it recycles damaged mitochondria. So your mitochondria, basically the powerhouse of the cells, yada yada. We're not going back to science class. I remember my teacher telling me that in like, I don't know, grade 11 science or whatever. But essentially, if you can recycle, so if you can remove your damaged or inefficient mitochondria and repair them with good, efficient mitochondria, you're gonna build more muscle, you're gonna be stronger, you're gonna have more energy. Basically, everything's gonna be running more efficiently. You're gonna be able to burn fat. Fat oxidation, fat loss happens in the mitochondria, so you're gonna be burning fat more efficiently. And they actually did a study on this on young resistance trained men, which is very rare. Most studies on supplements are done on like some, not like a population that doesn't really make sense for our goals, but this was done on young resistance trained men, and it showed improvements in strength over 8 weeks. It showed reduced inflammation, so better recovery. So if you're able to recover better session to session, you're gonna be able to do more volume. You do more volume that you can recover from, you're gonna grow more. So yeah, super sick stuff. Now better watch the UFC Embedded, because we got some big fights this weekend. Beta. All right, just getting the pre-workout and the intra-workout ready. Pre-workout, we're going with the Gorilla Mind Stim Free. Probably one of the best stim frees I've found. Then in the intra, we got Element for the electrolytes, creatine, which doesn't need to go in your intra. You're not gonna build more muscle or anything. Pretty convenient to put in there. Then we got 50 grams of carbs. This will actually help you build more muscle. Definitely. Big carbs, 40% discount. And then EAAs in the intra as well to stimulate muscle protein synthesis during the workout. Now, is all this necessary? No. Will it boost your, will it help you put on X pounds more muscle? Who knows, honestly, especially with the intra-workout carbs. If you're able to say, instead of you start a workout great, and then since your glycogen's depleting as you work out, say those last, let's say you're hitting a pull day, your biceps usually hit them at the end. Are they going to be as effective, say, as if you had an intra-workout carb and now you've been sipping on that throughout the whole session, so you're able to do more reps on your bicep curl, let's say? Does that translate to more muscle growth over time? Yes, in my opinion. So while these aren't 100% mandatory, I would say they do serve a place, especially if you're after just optimal progress. So yeah, time to go hit legs.
Niggas been counting me out. I'm counting my bullets, I'm loading my clips, I'm writing down names, I'm making a list, I'm checking it twice and I'm getting them hit. The real ones been dying, the fake ones is lit. The game is off balance, I'm back on my shit. The Bentley is dirty, my sneakers is dirty, but that's how I like it. You all on my dick, I'm all in my bag, as hard as it get. I do not snort powder, I might take a sip, I might hit the blunt, but I'm liable to trip. I ain't popping no pill, but you do as you wish. I roll with some fiends, I love them to death. I got a few mil, but not all of them rich. What good is the bread if my niggas is broke? What good is first class if my niggas can't sit? That's my next mission, that's why I can't quit. Just like LeBron, get my niggas more chips. Just put the rollie right back on my wrist. This watch came from Drizzy, he gave me a gift. Back when the rap game was praying like this. To act like two legends cannot coexist. But I never beef with a nigga for nothing. If I smoke a rapper, it's gon' be legit. It won't be for clout, it won't be for fame. It won't be cause my shit ain't selling the same. It won't be to sell you my latest little sneakers. It won't be cause some niggas slid in my lane. Everything grows, it's destined to change. I love you little niggas, I'm glad that you came. I hope that you scrape every dollar you came. I hope you know money won't erase the pain. To the OGs, I'm thanking you now. Was watching you when you was paving the ground. I copied your cadence, I mirrored your style. I studied the greats, I'm the greatest right now. Fuck if you feel me, you ain't got a choice. I ain't do no promo, still made all that noise. This shit gon' be different, I set my intentions. I promise to slap all that hate out your voice. Niggas been counting me out, I'm counting my bullets, I'm loading my clips, I'm writing down names, I'm making a list, I'm checking it twice and I'm getting them hit. The real ones been dying, the fake ones is lit, the game is off balance, I'm back on my shit. The Bentley is dirty, my sneakers is dirty, but that's how I like it, you all on my dick. I just poured something in my cup, I've been wanting something I can feel. Promise I am never letting up. Money in your...
Alright, leg day, done and dusted. Pretty good session, but I definitely can feel like I'm coming up on a deload. I've been in this training block for like 6-7 weeks now, so probably around week 8 or 9, depending on progressions. That's how you kind of assess, and overall fatigue, mood, energy. We'll decide when we deload. And when I deload, I usually do devolume instead of time out the gym, so I'll just do a week of cut all my sets in half and then train 3 to 4 RIR instead of 3 to 4 days out of the gym, just because I still like going in there and keeping the skill acquisition high for the movement patterns. But either one works if you're going to deload. Now, for the holding phase peptide stack, we're using the mitochondrial optimization stack. So this one I like a lot so far. I've noticed better mood, energy, focus during the morning, and we'll see what effect it has on my body composition and performance as well. So we got MOTC, which is a pretty good one, like MOTC. Methylene blue, it's been a staple for 6 months now. I use it like 4 times a week, 10 milligrams. Great nootropic effect as well, but also it's going to reduce oxidative stress on the mitochondria, improve the mitochondria efficiency as well. Then we have SLU PP332, which also acts as a exercise mimetic. So going to keep you guys updated on how I'm feeling running the stack here. Of course, how the physique's coming across, if it's making a huge difference, if not, if it's worth the money, if it's not worth the money. Now the studies on MOTC, incredibly robust. So MOTC, that's a staple for sure. Methylene blue as well. The methylene blue has been around since like the 1800s. It was actually, I believe, the first pharmaceutical ever made by the States. I did a bunch of research on it for my podcast on it. So if you want to know about methylene blue, I did do a podcast. You can check link in the description for the podcast. And then SLU is a pretty cool one as well. Only rodent literature, so research on rats, which is one thing to be aware. But we shall see how we go. Also, could definitely monitor blood work as well alongside, which is something I do every 6 months anyway, just because you can actually use blood work for performance to assess your recovery, your nutrients, especially like I said before. I said this in the coffee shop. Always just blood work's on my mind because it's top of brain right now. Did a whole course on essentially understanding how we can use blood work for performance and recovery. So yeah, your red blood cells for your B vitamin status, and then your ALT, AST, good insight into your magnesium and zinc status. So lots of cool things you can find out with your blood work. Your DHA to cortisol ratio is a good indicator of your recovery status. Sodium to potassium ratio is good to see your adrenal status as well. Don't gonna get carried away. But before I do continue rambling, appreciate you for watching. Just hit 1K subs, so much love. Appreciate the support. Gonna keep leveling up the videos week to week, and yeah, enjoy the process of the bulk getting hench before we bring the shreds. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in building episode 11. Peace.